Welcome to Headline Hub Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Tensions are boiling over in the Asia-Pacific. The West Philippine Sea is now a global flashpoint. For years, Chinese Coast Guard vessels have used aggressive tactics, water cannons, dangerous maneuvers, even lasers, against Filipino crews. These incidents are part of a calculated strategy to assert control over waters that international law says belong to the Philippines. The world is watching as the stakes rise beyond fishing rights to sovereignty and regional stability. The Philippines, with a proud maritime history, now faces daily risks against a much larger force. Disruption here would send shockwaves through the global economy. In response, Japan is taking a bold step, transferring a fully armed Abukuma-Class destroyer to the Philippine Navy. This is more than a routine transfer. It's a signal that the region's old dynamics are changing. The arrival of this warship in Manila marks a pivotal moment, representing a leap in capability for the Philippines and a new security role for Japan. This act is a direct response to China's growing assertiveness and the shared concerns of its neighbors. Alliances are being reforged, and smaller nations are making choices once thought unthinkable. The transfer is a powerful statement. The balance of power in the Asia-Pacific is shifting. The story of defiance and resilience is entering a new chapter. For decades, the Philippine Navy operated under the shadow of the United States, relying on its security umbrella and aging second-hand ships. This dependence stunted the growth of the country's own defense industry and strategic thinking. When the U.S. bases withdrew in the early 1990s, the Philippines was left with an outdated fleet and limited resources. The Navy struggled to maintain its ships, let alone modernize. Leaders prioritized economic development, assuming major threats were a thing of the past. But as the 21st century dawned, incursions in the West Philippine Sea increased. The old fleet, slow and poorly equipped, could only observe, not defend, the country's maritime borders. This reality forced a painful reassessment within the defense establishment. The focus shifted from internal security to external territorial defense. The Navy, long neglected, became a top priority. Modernization was no longer optional, it was essential. The Philippines began searching for new partners and strategies. The era of relying on a single protector was over. A new strategy of self-reliance and modernization was born. The stage was set for a dramatic transformation. China's aggressive push in the South China Sea was the catalyst for Manila's strategic awakening. Beijing's 9-line claim, backed by a powerful Navy and Coast Guard, encroached deep into the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Chinese maritime militia swarmed contested reefs, outmuscling the aging Philippine fleet. The 2012 Scarborough Shoal standoff was a turning point. China seized control, and diplomacy proved ineffective. The Philippines won a landmark legal victory in The Hague, but China ignored the ruling and escalated its activities. Relentless pressure forced Manila to act. The armed forces launched a modernization program, shifting focus to external defense. The Navy became a top priority, aiming for a minimum credible deterrent. Modern ships, missiles, and sensors were now essential. But building a Navy from scratch is slow and costly. The Philippines realized it needed more than just U.S. support. New partnerships with Japan, Australia, and South Korea emerged. The goal, a wider network of support to uphold a rules-based order. The era of dependence was over. Coalition building was the new reality. Manila was determined to defend its sovereignty. Japan's support began with cautious, non-lethal aid, modern patrol vessels for the Philippine Coast Guard. These ships improved maritime law enforcement and search and rescue, but couldn't deter military threats. As China's tactics grew more aggressive, the line between Coast Guard and naval activity blurred. Manila needed more than patrol boats, it needed a true warship. The conversation with Japan shifted. The transfer of a fully armed Abukuma-class destroyer marks a monumental turning point. This leap was enabled by Japan's evolving security posture and constitutional reinterpretation. The transfer is now a defense and security arrangement, not just development aid. Japan sees Philippine security as directly linked to its own. This is about strengthening a key partner on the front line of a shared challenge. The Abukuma transfer is a symbol of Japan's new proactive role. It's a move from capacity building to real deterrence. The partnership is now about collective security. The region's security architecture is being reshaped. Japan and the Philippines are forging a new path together. The Abukuma class is a quantum leap for the Philippine Navy. Designed for anti-submarine and anti-surface warfare, it's compact but potent. Its arrival instantly makes it one of the fleet's most powerful ships. Armed with Harpoon missiles, Rock rockets, torpedoes, and advanced sensors, it gives the Philippines real standoff capability. Chinese vessels can no longer act with impunity. The ship's advanced radar and combat systems dramatically improve situational awareness. Operating such a vessel will challenge and professionalize the Navy. The Abukuma's presence is a powerful symbol of deterrence. It signals that the Philippine Navy is no longer a pushover. While one ship won't change the entire balance, it's a proof of concept. The Philippines is serious about defending its sovereignty and has powerful friends. This is the beginning of a new chapter for the Navy. The region is on notice. The game has changed. A modern warship is only as effective as its crew. Japan's support goes beyond the ship. It includes comprehensive training for Filipino sailors. Months of instruction in Japan cover navigation, engineering, and advanced combat systems. Filipino crews are learning to operate radar, sonar, and deploy the ship's full arsenal. This steep learning curve is transforming the Navy's professionalism. Japan also provides technical support, spare parts, and ongoing expert advice. JMSDF technicians will work alongside Filipinos to ensure smooth operations. This partnership is about building long-term capability, not just a one-time transfer. The experience will ripple through the entire Navy, raising standards fleet-wide. Trust and interoperability between the two navies are deepening. This is a true security partnership, built on shared values and challenges. The transfer of knowledge is as vital as the transfer of hardware. The Abukuma transfer is a strategic message to Beijing: the status quo is over. China's naval dominance is now challenged by a credible Philippine deterrent. This is classic external balancing, alliances to counter a larger threat. The Philippines, with Japan's help, raises the cost of aggression for China. It's about deterrence, not provocation. China has condemned the move, but must now rethink its tactics. Other Southeast Asian nations see this as a positive step toward a more balanced region. The US views it as integrated deterrence, sharing the security burden. The alliance network is stronger and more complex. The region is no longer easily intimidated. The balance of power is shifting. A decade ago, this transfer was unthinkable. Japan's constitution once forbade offensive military aid. But a changing security environment, China's rise, North Korea, Russia, forced a rethink. Japan reinterpreted its constitution, embracing collective self-defense and easing arms transfer restrictions. Strengthening partners now enhances Japan's own security. The goal? A stable Indo-Pacific and a rules-based order. This isn't a return to militarism but a pragmatic response to new threats. Japan is stepping up as a responsible security partner. The Abukuma transfer is the clearest sign yet of this new doctrine. Japan is moving beyond checkbook diplomacy. It's taking a direct role in shaping regional security. The Japan-Philippines warship transfer is part of a larger shift, a new network of Indo-Pacific security alliances. This isn't a formal bloc, but a flexible latticework of partnerships. The goal: collective deterrence against coercion and aggression. The US alliance system remains central, but now regional partners are connecting directly. Trilateral and quadrilateral cooperation is growing. Japan, the Philippines, and the US are coordinating closely. Australia, AUKUS, and the Quad add further layers to this web. An attack on one now has wider implications. This model is more resilient and inclusive, with countries like Vietnam and Indonesia joining in. The message: the region is united, capable, and determined to uphold a free and open Indo-Pacific. The Abukuma-class destroyer under a Philippine flag is a powerful symbol of this new reality. The era of fragmentation is ending. The Indo-Pacific is forging a collective future. The balance of power is being rewritten.